Hello everyone, welcome back to Soccer Showdown. Joe Archino and Martino Puccio here as always. We're going to start off today's show at Paris Saint-Germain because obviously there's a little bit of drama unfolding at the club right now. Now from a playing standpoint, things have been fine. 6 wins from their first 6 matches. They lead Liga 1. But where the drama comes into play is this most recent weekend where Neymar and Cavani were visibly arguing with each other over who should take penalty kicks this weekend. Now, PSG got the victory like they've done so far this season, but I think a lot of people are worried about the implications that are stemming from this visible feud they were having on the field. There are reports, and again, you always have to take reports with a grain of salt in soccer, but I think the reports very well could be true that Neymar wants Cavani sold, and Neymar is obviously the poster boy for PSG. This is his club now. They paid over $256 million to get him from Barcelona. So they have everything invested into Neymar. Martino, the question for you is, are you worried about this feud, this spat with Cavani so early into Neymar's career, the drama that is unfolding before our eyes?
I think you can certainly say it's not a positive because it's so early into the season like you were mentioning. It's just September. And this is such a stupid thing to get in a fight over. It happens all the time. They should worry about scoring goals, not who scores the goals. They've got to worry about winning, and that's the ultimate reason why Neymar joined PSG, so he could end up winning the Champions League in a different project. And I think Cavani is going to be one of the key cogs for them winning the Champions League if they want to do that. So him wanting him sold, I don't even know how true that is, because if it just stems from the one incident, then that doesn't bode well for the future, because what happens if another star comes in here, even Kylian Mbappe wants to take a penalty too, but he's not allowed to take it just because Neymar wants it? I mean, that's so ridiculous. They should worry about winning, and that should be the only thing they should worry about. But as far as Cavani getting sold, I don't see that happening. They got to let it play out the rest of the season. It's so early, like you said.
Neymar deals with the drama at his new club. It has been business as usual at his old club. Barcelona has been sensational to start the season in La Liga. 5 wins from their first 5 matches. Messi has scored 9 goals in those first 5 matches. And then when you look at the Champions League, it has been sensational as well. They beat Juventus 3-0. So I think it comes as to a surprise to some of us, because when you look at the summer that they had filled with drama, Neymar leaving, there was a lot of doubts about where Barcelona stood as a club, the continuity at the club. But they are proving everyone wrong right now. The only blip in the road so far has been that their young player they bought to replace Neymar, Ousmane Dembele, is now been injured and is going to miss some time. But Martino, I think all of us are kind of wondering, did we expect Barcelona to come out of the gate and be this sharp? And even though Dembele hasn't played much, is that injury going to derail what's so far been a sensational start to their season?
I don't think I'm so much as surprised at the start in La Liga. I think it's more so that performance against Juve in the Champions League, because Juve throttled them last year in the elimination stage. They made it all the way to the final. But to win 3-0 after Juve was only conceding 3 goals up until the final last year in the Champions League really speaks volumes as to the level that they're playing. But now that they're losing Dembele for 4 months, it's really going to be a big loss for them. I don't know if they're going to be able to play to that level and beat Juve like that, because they got to go to the J Stadium now. So I'm not sure that it's going to be able to turn out like that, but they still have Messi and Suarez. When you have 2 of the best forwards in the world, you're going to be okay.
We turn our attention to the other juggernaut in La Liga, Real Madrid, where life has not been as good as it has been at Barcelona. And very surprisingly, but Real Madrid has gotten off to a difficult start to their season. For the first time in 74 matches, Real Madrid was unable to score the other day against Real Betis. They lost 1-0. And I think most importantly, it was Ronaldo's debut in La Liga. Remember, he was suspended a few matches. So when you look at Real Madrid now, the difficult start to their season, in the first 5 matches in La Liga, they have won 2, they have lost 1, and they have drawn twice. So it's certainly not the start that we have expected. In the Champions League, they take care of business. But I think, Martino, now that Ronaldo is back in La Liga, Zidane has expressed relief that he's back. Certainly his first match back wasn't great, but I don't think any of us are going to overreact too much. Do you think that Ronaldo being back will help them get back on top in La Liga?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how it couldn't help him. This is one of the best players in the world and one of the best of all time. So when you get a guy like that back on your team, it's really going to help a lot. I know it's going to take some time because he did miss a good amount. They've been playing a ton. They've been in back-to-back Champions League finals, so they've been going as far as you possibly can into a season. So he came back after shoving the ref. I mean, it's one game. They did lose. It was the first time they failed to score in 74 games. As bad as that might sound, it's still amazing that they were scoring 74 straight matches in a row. So I think they're going to be fine. And factoring in the Dembele injury, it's not looking that great for Barcelona either. They could easily make up this ground and compete for a third straight Champions League title.
We have talked about many stars throughout the show today. We've talked about Messi, we've talked about Ronaldo, but now it's time to talk about the next player who might be mentioned in the same conversation in a few years' time. And that is Christian Pulisic of the USA. I think when you look at Pulisic, obviously, Martino, we've seen him do so many great things. He just turned 19 this September. And now when you look at the numbers, which ESPN FC kind of reference, and they collected Messi at that age, Ronaldo at that age, and what they all had done. The numbers are actually very similar for all the players. Before turning 19, Messi appeared in 34 club games. Ronaldo appeared in 53. Pulisic has appeared in 60. When you look at goals scored at that club level, Messi scored 9, Ronaldo had 6. Pulisic has scored 9. So he's matched Messi at that age at the club level with goals scored. At the international level, it's very similar. Messi played in 9 international games before turning 19. Ronaldo was in 0. Pulisic has already been in 18 games for the U.S. men's national team. And then when you look at goals at the international level, Messi scored twice, Ronaldo 0, and then Pulisic has netted 7. So when you look at those numbers, I think it's almost amazing how comparable they are between these three players. Obviously, Team USA, or the USA in general, has never had a player homegrown like that who's been at the same level of a Messi and Ronaldo. So I think the question on everyone's mind is, after hearing those numbers, can Pulisic one day be at the same level of a Messi or a Ronaldo?
This isn't to be disrespectful to Christian, and it's not to say that he's not talented. I just think it's a little unfair to him to just put him in the names with those two players. I don't even think he was good as Alexandre Pato was at that age. We can remember Pato when he was scoring crazy goals against Barcelona in the Champions League. Messi and Cristiano are just in a different stratosphere in terms of talent. So when Christian's off to a great start like this, and he's playing at a different level of competition too, especially internationally. He's doing a great job. Now, I think the better question to ask is he the best USA player of all time already? And I think that might be a fair question to say, because just look at what he's doing, not only internationally, but at the club level. Where did Landon Donovan or Clint Dempsey really go? They were in the Premier League, but they were struggling there too. He's at a top club in Germany, performing extremely well. He's everything Freddie Adu was supposed to be. So I think it's a little unfair to put him up there with those names, but to say he could be already the best American talent of all time is totally fine. I think he is, and he's well on his way to be the best player of all time for USA. Now, in terms of being the greatest player in the world, I don't know about that. I mean, I don't even think he's the best youngster in the world right now. I think Kylian Mbappe is a better player than him. I think that would have been a better player to put up with these two guys. But he's off to a great start nonetheless. I'm not taking away anything from him at all. But I think we need to sit back when we're looking at statistics like that, because I don't think it tells the whole story.
He just turned 19 years old, and we certainly have a lot more to watch this young player grow. But that is going to do it for this episode of Soccer Showdown, everyone. As always, Joe Archino and Martino Puccio here. We will catch everyone in the next episode.